Hi Libra, it's your cosmic auntie here, the interstellar storyteller, and this is going to be a general June tarot reading for Libra energy. So maybe a Libra sun, maybe your moon sign is Libra, maybe you're a Libra rising or a combination of those three. Maybe there's a stellium in Libra, planet in Libra, house aspect, I don't know. Maybe you're really learning about your air energy. And this could just have come across your page randomly too. So however this video has found you, welcome. I'm so happy that you're here. Please feel welcome to stay if you'd like. So let's jump in. And before I start shuffling, I like to just always share with people that tarot is never supposed to tell you something you don't already know, okay? When a message resonates, you'll just know, and if it doesn't, you'll also know. That's a different type of resonance, okay? So don't make anything fit is what I'm trying to say. You know yourself best. You are the expert of you, and you know what your intuition is saying, okay? So the way that I like to design my readings is kind of like a tasting plate of energy, like a think tank, okay? I want and hope that these readings will come alongside you and assist you in the things that you find yourself navigating at that time, okay? Yeah, so take what you want, leave the rest. All right, Libra, let's see what's coming up for you in June. So what's going on for Libra in June? Okay, we've got the Devil. Libra. Let's get some more information for Libra. Were you finding yourself drained at this time, Libra? Where are you finding yourself, I heard the word hinged, like kind of just, there's something snagging the energy a little bit. Like I just saw like a hangnail get caught on some nylon tights. Oh man, that kind of energy. Okay, so what's that for you? The Devil is all about bringing your awareness to those places and then assessing what needs to be done to like free yourself of that energy, reallocate that energy, reorganize it, delegate, like whatever you need to do with that energy in order to assist the flow for you. The Devil talks about anything that like drains your energy, holds you back. These can be places where, you know, we talk to ourselves a certain way that is not conducive of our, you know, healthiest well-being at that time. These are things that may have been coping mechanisms or protective mechanisms that were put in place at one point for that point in time that are now outdated and getting in the way of growth and experience and all of that kind of thing. So yeah, hangnail in the tights, interesting. So what else can we, what does Libra got to do about that? Okay. So we've got the High Priestess. We've got the Page of Swords. We've got the Three of Swords. And then we have the Queen of Cups. Okay, Libra, so then, you know, how do you feel about it? What are your feelings about that? This is what this reading is about. This reading is about following that place, finding that, you know, like noticing that irritating energy, the places that you're constricted, drained, and, you know, holding yourself back or being held back, wherever you find yourself within that energy, if that resonates with you, if you're finding, oh yeah, like that kind of like strikes a chord, that nail on the, what is it like, so how do you feel about it? Part of the devil, right, is in the detail, that whole saying. So when the devil reveals itself, right, like with this card, is an invitation to really lean into those places that aren't flowing. And what is there to do about it, right? And so the devil is in the detail. It's not always a one-shot like answer, right? There's a lot of detail that needs to be explored, and the High Priestess, the Page of Swords, the Three of Swords, and the Queen of Cups is that detail. There's an invitation here, Libra, to really articulate whatever pain that you felt, to really articulate it to yourself. It feels like there's a need for honesty here with yourself. So how did it hurt? What happened? How did it make you feel? And I know Libra is hard when you are a Libra and you are really focused and tuned in with the other. But the path of Libra is remembering there's the sibling sign of Aries, and that is you in relationship, you in the world, you in life, right? So that means you. So what did that experience mean to you? And it seems as though there's a feel here where you can't ignore it anymore. Like it's just not being when it comes to the devil. It's like there's just, you can't like unsee it, you can't unknow it. You're like, oh my god, it's time to deal with it in your own time, in your own process. Of course, like I'm not here to tell you that how to like do anything here, okay, right? Like you were the expert of you, but when the devil rolls up, it's kind of hard to ignore at this point. So in order to get through it, you have to feel it. And in order to feel it, and when you feel it, then you get to know it. And when you get to know it, Libra, there is a sense of healing and freedom, because you can turn around and see exactly what it is. It's not going to be that like mysterious hangnail on that's not going to be that annoying feeling anymore. You're going to know exactly what that is when that rolls up. You're going to be able, that's what the page is, right? The page is still like very much a student kind of energy. They're just starting to get into like the court cards. You know, the next is going to come the knight, and then the queen, and then the king. So there's this like these steps, this evolution. And the page at this point, there's a certain wisdom and knowledge and truth and bravery that the pages have, but there's still a very kind of vulnerability and naivety about them. However, it's starting to get into this like deep, like these quartz wisdom cards, right? These like, okay, the knight, the queen, the king. So there's this like mental mastery, this like authentic expression of truth. And you are air energy, right? So there's this, what I'm trying to say is that there's a more of a awareness of your own mind, of your own voice, of your perspective, of your experiences and how you experienced them, and being able to express and stand up for yourself in regards to your truth. So when I say the naivety part, okay, like it's more what I'm trying to say is there's a need for curiosity here. To be curious about yourself, about your processes, to be curious about your pain. Okay? And I know that's not always enjoyable or fun. But it can set you free. And what I mean by that is that when it set you free is that you know what this like trigger is, you know what it is. And so with knowledge comes power. Sandwiched here between the Queen of Cups and the High Priestess is some really profoundly spiritual energy, Libra. Okay? So there's definitely a notion of like intuitive wisdom and emotional wisdom. Because because like at this point I think it has like that just it's getting in your way now. Like you are safe, you are loved, you're supported, and it's time to go deep into who you are, how you feel, why that hurt, and how that hurt, and to show up for yourself in that way, to understand yourself, Libra. To forgive and to cherish, validate yourself, and why this like hangnail on the tights is there, and why it's starting to irritate you now, and how it's getting in your way, and why it got there in the first place. And that's really the way to root out devil energy. When you like pull a weed from the top and you leave the roots, well, it's just going to grow again. But if you take the time to go right deep into the ground, follow the roots and remove it from there, then there's a whole new space to grow in. And I feel that is the driving energy of this reading, Libra. And if you resonate with this, I sense there's just this deep call from within, from the cosmos, this connection. And this pain, whatever it is, I sense that it is starting to be time to address it and dissect it, to understand it, learn it, express it. And through that, it's going to lead you to greater understanding of who you are as a person, how you feel, how you love, what you give, your power, your presence, your sensitivity, your strengths, your everything, the way that you take care of yourself and others. I sense there's a real, like, it's there, but there's something that's starting to, anyway, not to be redundant, but because you're always that, I feel like this is very internal. It's just, whatever it is just starting to irk you. It's starting to get in your way. Whatever it is, right? Libra, starting to irk you. And so the only way you can really, really lean into it is to lean into it. Also, you're not alone, okay? So processing pain is not something that you have to do completely alone. You are loved, you are safe, you are protected. Wherever you find yourself in regards to the support that you want to reach out for, please do reach out, okay? This is a very deep personal kind of journey in regards to something that maybe was put aside, that was painful. And sometimes we do that, right? There's certain things that happen that hurt, and we process to a point, and then something else happens, and sometimes things re-trigger that area. We have to go back, and things, there's a lot of pots on the stove for each and every one of us at all times, okay? So that's kind of what I mean with that, is that this is something that's like maybe once had a place but doesn't anymore, and it's getting in the way of your productivity, it's getting in the way of your expression, your connection, your yeah, all of that. So I know it's kind of a bit of a harder reading, Libra, but sometimes those are kind of necessary, right? And I hope that if this resonates with you, that this reading has come alongside and has provided encouragement and validation, right? Like, this is always a process that we all have to take to lean into those places that just aren't working for us anymore, right? Devil energy. Where are we holding ourselves back? Where are we being held back? What is draining our energy? What is getting in the way of our success, of our flow, of our energetic flow? Where are we, talking down to ourselves? Where are we reaching for coping mechanisms that are not sustainable? Like all of these kind of things. We all have to do this. It is important to continuously keep like that curiosity with ourselves. So that's what I'm sensing in your reading this month, is this curiosity to this irritant, and following that tether, following that root down into the tip in order to remove it, because that's what we do when we are tending to our own personal inner gardens, which is we are our own gardens. We're our own personal gardeners, right? So we have to weed the garden every once in a while in order to make room for things that are fresh, things that are like more aligned with where we're going and where we find ourselves at that time. So good for you, Libra. I sense you just like taking a moment and being like really looking at what is important to you, how you experienced whatever it is that you experienced that hurt, like, and being real with your feelings, showing up for yourself, right? Forgiving yourself, all those things that we just chatted about. And ultimately articulating yourself and your experience. And when we can articulate ourselves, there's a certain power and awareness and knowledge, right? So, and this leveling up that we experience, where, we know our own minds, we know our hearts, and we know, like, we trust in our relationship with life. So, yeah, cool, Libra. Keep trusting yourself. Keep tuning in with yourself, listening to yourself, and asking yourself why, what, where, and filling in all those little details so that you can bring into view you, who you are, how you feel, what you want. Queen of Cups. I hope this was helpful. I love you very, very much. I look forward to chatting with you in July.